The incredible Fresh Roast SR-800. It's an awesome roaster. This is 6 ounces here, but it'll do up to 8 ounces. And you're roasting beans in like 10 minutes. So it's fast, fully controllable, and just an awesome home roaster. If you're into coffee and you've noticed like you want to get freshly roasted coffee because that makes a difference, and you try to find freshly roasted coffee near you, it's getting expensive out there, especially to get a single origin coffee and then to get it roasted the way you like it. The beauty of home roasting is you are fully in control, just like home brewing, but man, you can notice what that fresh flavor is. For me, the peak freshness is roughly 1 week after I roast it is when my wife tells me it is the absolute best. Let me show you how this hobby can actually save you money if you love great coffee. This is 6 ounces of beans right here. You can go up to 8 ounces. We like the 6 because then the fan can really move it around when you want it to. So this is 7 fan speed, 4 heater element, 20 minutes. I'll hit play. And so we want to see the beans moving. They don't need to be flying around, just want to see them moving. Right now, they have the most moisture in them. So we're kind of waiting for this first minute or two for it to dry out the beans. And you'll actually see them start to change color and you'll see the skin starting to come off of them. What's cool about this roaster is we can spin the dial and that's the temperature being put onto the bean. It's not the bean's temperature, but it's the air, it's the element air temperature that's going up through them. So you can start to see the chafe, see how it's starting to separate, see how yellow it just got like in the last 30 seconds. And see how the fan is moving it a ton more than it used to. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to change the temperature so that we could start ramping it up into the next phase. One of the goals is just a constant movement. You don't want it just stagnant sitting at the bottom. You want the beans turning just like popcorn, where you want them moving around enough that nothing is getting scorched down at the bottom. But like what I love about the fresh roast is I've brewed on the Beemore for years where you can barely see the color of the beans. And in this, it's just like plain as day how pale those just got. So as it's now in this phase, we're starting to move the bean quite a bit. So I am going to actually lower the bean, raise the heat, and now we're just going to keep driving that heat, and I will twist it so we can see. Now we're up to about 368, 370 going on to the bean. My ultimate goal is to get it up into the 400s. I just don't want to go fast to get it there. You can start to smell the roast itself. As we start to see it go from yellow to a brown, I'm going to keep driving that heat on there. See, now we're starting to get that light brown. We're playing like a little game with the fan speed. You want everything moving, but you don't want to be blowing all your air right through it. Which I'm probably going a hair fast on the fan. There we go, now we're in the 400s. But you don't want to just start there, or it's hard to get enough movement to where you don't overheat certain beans and end up with like a bunch of, like, see how you have all the different color beans? Our goal is you'll end up with some different colors, but you want to get them pretty close. Consider it the start of the crack when you start hearing like that symphony of cracks as opposed to just one. That might be an outlier, but when you start getting a whole bunch, you kind of know you're in here. Now my mental clock is ticking. I don't want to go too long to where you over roast, but you got to find that fine line of like how light, how dark. I'd say we're pretty close. Yeah. This is where you're kind of making that executive decision of when are you going to stop this thing.
It's the art versus science, right?
Exactly. So when we are ready, I'll put it in the other mode. You saw we were just at 420, so we're pretty hot. This has a button that allows you to go into cooling with just the push of a button. I'd say we're right about where I would pull the plug.
Cool.
So I'm going to put it into the cooling. See how we go to C3? And then they say it turns the heater off, but just in case, I turn the heater number all the way down to 1. So there's no chance that it's adding any heat. And this is the cooling phase. And I'm going to stop recording because it's kind of boring from here on out.
Beautiful.